Please do make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. The world doesn't prepare you for hunger. It creeps into your bones, makes your head heavy, and your stomach groan like a wild beast. That night, I had barely scraped together enough money to buy a plate of food, just one. My palms trembled as I held it, steam rising from the rice and beans like a lifeline. But then I saw them. An old couple, frail and weary, sitting on the roadside. The man clutched his wife's hand, his eyes dim with exhaustion. They hadn't eaten, I could tell. Their lips were dry, their shoulders bent with more than age. Something inside me shifted. I don't know what possessed me, but I walked toward them. My stomach screamed at me to turn back, to hold on to the plate, to survive. But my heart whispered louder. I bent down, offered them the food, and forced a smile even as my belly twisted in pain. The old man's eyes watered. His wife reached for my hand with trembling fingers. "God bless you, son," she said softly. I walked away empty, yet strangely full. Full of something I couldn't explain. Little did I know, that single act would change my entire life. I woke up the next morning with nothing but the ache of hunger gnawing inside me. My stomach was hollow, but my soul felt strangely at peace. I told myself I'd figure something out. I always did. The wooden door to our one-room house creaked whenever the wind blew, but this time it wasn't the wind. Knock, knock, knock. Slow, intentional, powerful. I froze. Nobody ever knocked on our door, why would they? We had nothing anyone wanted. "Who's there?" I asked, my voice shaky. Silence. Then another knock, firmer this time. My little sister stirred on the mat beside me. "Brother, who is it?" she whispered. I swallowed hard, pushed myself to my feet, and opened the door. What I saw made me stagger. A tall man in an expensive suit stood before me. His shoes gleamed, his watch sparkled, and behind him was a black car I had only ever seen in movies. His face was calm, but his eyes studied me with a piercing intensity. "Are you the boy who gave away his food last night?" he asked. His voice carried both authority and curiosity. My mouth went dry. How did he know? Who was this man? "Yes," I admitted slowly. "But how do you know about that?" The man smiled faintly. "Because that old couple you fed, they weren't who you thought they were." My heart pounded so loud I thought my sister could hear it. What did he mean? Who were they? The man reached into his pocket, pulled out a golden card, and handed it to me. "Pack your things," he said. "Your life is about to change." The golden card trembled in my hand as I stared at it. I had never held anything that shiny, that expensive looking, in my entire life. The man in the suit didn't flinch, he just watched me, waiting. "What do you mean, my life is about to change?" I asked cautiously. The man's lips curved into a smile. "You'll understand soon. But first, tell me, why did you give them your food?" I blinked. "Because they looked hungry. That's it. No expectation of reward." No, my voice was firm. "We don't give because of what we might get. We give because someone needs it." For the first time, his expression softened. He looked almost impressed. "Good," he said. "You've passed the first test." "Test?" I echoed, confused. Before he could explain, he gestured toward the black car. "Come with me. Bring your sister too. Both of you." Fear and curiosity wrestled inside me. Should I trust him? What if this was a trick? But something in my gut told me this was bigger than fear. This was destiny knocking at my door, literally. The ride was silent, except for the hum of the engine. My sister clutched my hand, her eyes wide with wonder as we passed neighborhoods we had never dared to enter before. Houses with gates, lawns so green they looked fake, and cars that cost more than our whole street combined. Finally, we pulled up to something that made my jaw drop. A mansion. No, more than a mansion. A palace. Its tall gates opened automatically, and fountains sprayed water into the morning air like diamonds. I turned to the man. "Where or are we?" He simply replied, "Home. At least, it could be if you accept." My sister gasped. "Brother, look." Standing at the grand entrance was the same old couple I had fed last night. But they weren't frail anymore. They weren't slumped with exhaustion. They were dressed in elegant clothes, glowing with health and dignity. I stumbled back. You. The old man smiled knowingly. "Yes, son. That was us. We needed to see who you really were when no one was watching." My head spun. None of this made sense. The suited man stepped forward. "Let me introduce them properly. This is Mr. and Mrs. Harrington, the owners of this estate, and some of the wealthiest people in the country." Wealthiest. My knees went weak. I had given my only meal to millionaires in disguise. They led us inside, and I felt like I had stepped into another world. Chandeliers sparkled above my head. Marble floors shone like mirrors. Every wall screamed luxury. Mrs. Harrington touched my shoulder gently. "Son, last night you proved something many fail to show: kindness without agenda." Her husband added, "In our world, money blinds people. But you gave away your only meal without expecting a thing in return. That is why we're here." I swallowed hard. "But, why me? There are so many people struggling like us. Why choose me?" Mr. Harrington's eyes met mine, steady and piercing. "Because sometimes, it takes just one candle to light a dark room. You are that candle." The words hit me deep. I wanted to believe them, but doubt crept in. Was I really special, or just lucky? Then he gave me a choice. Stay here with us for a week. Learn. Experience. If by the end, you still want to return to your old life, we won't stop you. But if you're ready to step into a bigger future, we'll open doors you never dreamed possible. My sister squeezed my hand under the table. Her eyes pleaded. "Say yes, brother. Please." And though fear tugged at me, hope was louder. "I'll stay," I whispered. Life in the mansion was overwhelming. Every meal was a feast. My sister laughed freely for the first time in months. I, however, couldn't shake the unease. Why me? Why such generosity? One night, while exploring the mansion, I stumbled into a library larger than my entire neighborhood. On the desk lay a leather-bound journal. Curiosity got the better of me. Inside were photos of children. Dozens of them. Smiling, laughing. Notes scribbled beneath their pictures. Tested. Failed. Greedy. Or tested. Passed. Adopted. My hands trembled. What was this? I turned the page and froze. There was my face. A picture of me giving away the food. Beneath it, just 2 words: tested. Pending. My heart pounded. Were they running some kind of experiment? Were we just part of their collection? The door creaked. I quickly shoved the book shut. It was Mr. Harrington. His sharp eyes locked onto mine. "You've seen it, haven't you?" he asked quietly. I nodded, my throat dry. "Then it's time you learned the full truth." Mr. Harrington sat me down, his expression grave. "Years ago," he began, "we were poor, poorer than you. But one act of kindness from a stranger lifted us out of misery. That man became our mentor, and eventually, we built this fortune. Since then, we've dedicated our lives to searching for children like we once were, children with compassion, not greed. We test them in disguise. Some fail. Some pass. Those who pass, we invest in them. We give them education, opportunities, a chance to change not just their lives, but their communities. His words left me speechless. You, son, are one of the few who passed. Tears burned my eyes. All my life, I thought I was invisible. Just another poor boy in the slums. But here I was, seen, chosen, valued. The Harringtons kept their promise. They enrolled my sister and me in the best schools. They gave us mentors, tutors, and resources I never dreamed of. But they didn't just hand us riches, they taught us responsibility. Money without character destroys, Mr. Harrington often reminded me. Character is your true wealth. Years passed. I studied hard, worked harder, and never forgot where I came from. My sister grew into a brilliant young woman with dreams bigger than poverty ever allowed her to imagine. And one day, as I stood in front of a crowd at the community center I built in our old neighborhood, I saw the Harringtons watching proudly from the front row. I took the microphone, my voice steady but my heart trembling with gratitude. Years ago, I gave away a meal I desperately needed. I thought I was losing something that day. I didn't know I was gaining everything. That single act opened a door I never imagined, a door to education, to purpose, to hope. Today, I stand not as the hungry boy you once knew, but as a man determined to pass that kindness forward. The crowd erupted in applause. My sister wiped her eyes. The Harringtons nodded, their smiles full of pride. And in that moment, I understood the truth. Sometimes, the smallest sacrifice becomes the greatest seed.